Final Cut Pro editors don't have to work alone. It's easy to share libraries with other editors, but you need to know the secrets that are shown in this video. The advantage of collaboration is not just for major studios. Editors in any organization producing promotional material or social media videos can gain a real edge by putting their heads together. In this video, I'll introduce the secrets of sharing with other Final Cut Pro editors anywhere else in the world. My name is Bruce, and if we've met before, welcome back. Otherwise, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to press the bell to be reminded of other videos in the series as they are published. Originally, I planned this to be one video, but as I started to script it, I realized that the content was just too much for a video to be watched in one setting. So I've broken it up into a series of short videos. However, I'll combine all three into a video for those viewers who wish to keep the content for reference. All the videos have timestamps in the description below that will allow you to jump to the different chapter headings. And let me stress, this video was in no way sponsored or instigated by LucidLink. The video is produced with the information that I personally gained during my evaluation of all the Final Cut Pro sharing options that I was able to find. But during my evaluation, when I needed assistance in understanding the workings of LucidLink, their support staff were outstanding, and in no small way their willingness to help aided my decision to go with LucidLink for my collaboration with other editors that I use in the US. This first video is about establishing a LucidLink account and how to optimize Final Cut Pro to take best advantage of LucidLink. Over the past 6 months, I've been evaluating various avenues of collaboration methods on behalf of an associated US company that I produce up to 40 promotional videos per week. The footage is filmed in the USA and I access it from the cloud and initiate projects into Final Cut Pro that are stored in the cloud so that editors in the US can make corrections or simply just change wording and titles directly in the library when it's in the cloud. The principle works well with the time zone difference, as I have access to the footage at the end of the day's filming in the US, which is early morning my time. And this gives me all day in my time to complete videos and then have them ready and waiting in the cloud for the morning after the shoot in the US. The library stays in the cloud so it can be accessed by any user from any location in the world. In the past, we've collaborated using Dropbox with a reasonable success, but with the downside that footage required for the edit needed to be downloaded from Dropbox to the local computer before I could start editing. And for 4K footage from high-end cameras, this could take over 24 hours to download to my computer before I could start editing. Not exactly useful for next-day edits. The real advantage of LucidLink is that as soon as you establish a Final Cut Pro library in the LucidLink cloud account, you can start adding the media stored on LucidLink into the Final Cut Pro library without having to wait for the media to download to the local computer, as you do with Dropbox. During the evaluation period, I looked at a number of different software and hardware options for collaboration using Final Cut Pro, and a number were more suitable for other video editing packages as they prioritized either Media Composer or Adobe Premiere. So without going into comparisons of what the other packages do, I picked LucidLink for two reasons. It has a similar process to Dropbox, and that's from a workflow point of view, which saves on training our editors to learn new procedures. And most importantly, I found LucidLink to be the quickest to move media over the internet, allowing me to get Final Cut Pro projects started without having to wait for the full download to my computer, as we did with Dropbox. As I said, this video is about establishing a LucidLink account and how to optimize Final Cut Pro to take best advantage of LucidLink. It's very easy to start using LucidLink with a trial 14-day period. Just install, create an account, initialize a file space, and create a Final Cut Pro library. And this is how it's set up. LucidLink has a unique setup procedure that you'll need to complete. You'll need to establish a domain name. That sounds difficult, but not so. It's just a name that you enter into the appropriate field. And for this exercise, I've selected the name Video Tutors as my domain name. And you'll also be asked for a name for the file space. Again, it's quite simple. Just pick a name you like. In this example, I've selected Bruce, which means the file space will be bruce.videotutors. Then you'll need to choose your cloud storage region, pick something that's close to you, press the Next button, then Review and Confirm and Create button, and then you'll launch the desktop client. If you don't already have it, you'll need to download it at this stage. Once you've downloaded that, you can open that desktop app and then initialize the desktop app and open the folder. Once the file space is set up and connected, you'll become the root user and be able to administrate other users as either administrators or as standard users. An administrator has all the access privileges of the root user, whereas a standard user needs to be given access, or as LucidLink calls it, be given permissions to access folders. And this is a bit of a trap. You need to give the standard user permission to be able to see any folder. If you don't give them permission, they'll see nothing. But there's more on that in the second video in this series. In the right-hand side of your Mac's top menu bar, you'll see a twisted rope icon. And you'll also see in the Finder's Windows sidebar the name of your file space, Bruce in this case. Both will give you access to the LucidLink folder in the cloud. And the icon at the top of your menu bar is the most useful. There are 3 tabs at the top left and a menu of 3 horizontal bars on the top right. The first tab from the left shows you information about your file space. And for now, let's concentrate on the Open Folder button. When you click that button, the LucidLink folder in the cloud opens in a Finder window, which will be empty at this point. You'll need to create 2 folders now, and I'll get you to create more folders later. But as I said, let's keep things simple. One of the folders to add now will hold your Final Cut Pro libraries in the cloud, and the second will store the Final Cut Pro caches. And it's these caches that are the big part of LucidLink's magic. I've called the folders Final Cut Pro Active Libraries and Lucid Cache. For now, I want to concentrate on how to optimize Final Cut Pro's settings or preferences so that the libraries will work best with LucidLink. Next to do is to launch Final Cut Pro and create a new library and direct it to the LucidLink file space in the cloud and store the new library in the Final Cut Pro Active Libraries folder. Later in the third video in this series, you'll be able to add new folders for each user, but as I said, I want to keep it simple for now. Next, while the Final Cut Pro library is still selected in the browser's sidebar, open the inspector so you can see the storage options. Select the Modify Settings button to make changes from the defaults. You want to have the media stored in library and motion content stored in the Motion Templates folder. And finally, you want to direct the cache and navigating to the LucidLink folder. And you'll find that in the Finder window. It will be at the bottom of the sidebar. Select the LucidLink folder, which is currently called Bruce. Congratulations, you can now start editing using LucidLink default settings. The next video will discuss how to change these defaults as well as using the control panel for setting up permissions for other users. Thanks for watching, and you can view video 2 in the series by clicking the thumbnail on screen now.